Hey guys, it's me, Jennie B, and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. Last time I left off, Lilly and Hanako brought us to like a little lunch area, so I'm really excited. We're gonna have some lunch with them. I accidentally hit the button, so I kind of forgot what that last line was. I hope you guys remember out there. But it was something like, oh, so this is where you go every day for lunch? Something like that. Something like that. Alright. So here we go. Yes, Hanako and I usually have lunch together. Have lunch here. It suits us both, so we ended up using this room regularly. After seeing Hanako's reactions to me over the past couple days, I can understand why that's a boon. That and Lilly being able to get some quiet away from her class as well. I take my seat last after Lilly poured the tea for us and sits down. Oh, she's so nervous. The more time I spend with these two girls, the more I think they're perfect foil to Misha and Shizune. Without a voice, Shizune is direct and brash, and Misha seems to get along with everyone. On the other hand, Lilly is soft-spoken and relaxed, while Hanako seems to be the shyest girl I've ever met. So, how are you faring, Yamaku Hisao? You seemed a bit flustered before. Apart from getting lost every now and again and being crash-tackled outside my classroom, yeah, fine, yes. You looked pretty hurt before. Are you really okay? For a brief moment, I considered telling Hanako and Lilly about my condition, but then I held back. I can't tell why, but for some reason I feel uncomfortable talking about it to these relative strangers, even if they have been pretty friendly. Yeah, it's nothing. I was just a bit startled. Judging from the two girls' expression, I don't think they're buying it, but in what I assume is their way of respecting my privacy, they don't press the matter. I guess that is one of the unwritten rules around here. Don't ask. Even if people's conditions aren't obvious like Hanako's, there's still bound to be a story involved. Everyone has things they don't feel comfortable speaking about, and I think everyone here recognizes that. So, how long have you been in this school? You both seem to know your way around pretty well. Well, I've been here since the start of high school, but only moved into the dormitories a year ago. Hanako joined at the start of high school as well and moved to the dormitories when she did, if memory serves me right. That's right, since high school. So you've known each other since then? Since I moved, yes. Hanako lives next door to me, so it's only natural, right? Right. Yeah, of course. Living next to someone's probably the reason enough to befriend them, though I'm guessing that Lily's blindness play a part in that as well. Can't imagine Hanako easily making friends with someone who has deliberately avoided looking at her scars. Oh, yeah, that makes sense, actually. I didn't really put the two together. Lily can't see, so she can't see how Hanako really looks. With the immediate conversation dried up, we start to eat our lunch. It isn't long before the bells are signaling the end of the break. Like me, the girls pack up their lunches as efficiently as they set them out. I guess they better be off. Are you going to go with Hisao, Hanako? Hanako looks up at me for a second, and I can see that she's considering skipping class, maybe just to avoid walking to the classroom with me. Yes. I don't know what to think of it. Hanako is really delicate to the point of breaking if I look at it in the wrong way. If I look at her, to the point of breaking if looked at in the wrong way. I thought he said it for a second. Makes me a bit nervous, but I push the feeling aside, trying to be as natural as I can. We should hurry then. Class has already started by the sound of it. Lilly gives a nod of farewell as she bends down to take her cane, and Hanako and I filing out. We walk quietly down the empty halls to our respective classes. As we reach the door to Lily's 3-2 classroom, she turns toward me. Hisao, thank you for sharing lunch with us today. My pleasure, Lilly. And with that, we part ways. Lilly entering her classroom and leaving Hanako and me to make off to our own. She's looking like she wants to run away. So, do you really want to go back to class now? Is he insinuating that they skip? Yes. Okay then. I feel as if I should say something to her, but it's hard to come up with anything that would be appropriate and safe enough. We was all right. The more time we spend out here, the more explaining we have to do. I open the rear door to the class when we walk in. Teacher looks up at me and opens his mouth to say something. However, as Hanako follows me in and closes the door, he simply nods to us and continues his lecture. This is the third time Hanako has had her truancy practically ignored. There's definitely something going on here. We make our way to the seats, and I notice that Misha and Shizune are both missing as well. I wonder if there's something form of informal agreement with the staff, or if it's a perk afforded to the unique students of the school. Trying to make a little disturbance as I can, I extract the relevant textbooks from my bag and start catching up. The class goes on quietly. The teacher seems like an okay person, despite the weird first impression I got, and material is relatively interesting. However, the way he teaches is really bizarre, as if he expects that everyone is a natural genius. When the final bell sounds, I realize there's still a lot of time left in the day, and I'm left wondering what to do. I saw that at the hospital I had 24 hours a day of free time, but here, filling the considerably shorter hours feels difficult. Everyone else leaves and I'm alone with the teacher. Muto is examining the assignment sheets we were working on earlier, marking them with a red ball pen. Raising his eyes from the papers briefly, he notices me and furrows his brow. What is it, Nakai? I jump at him addressing me, but I guess it's natural to spark some conversation since there's nobody else around. Nothing. Thinking about what I do after school. The teacher slowly puts the cap on his pen he is holding and arranges his paper into a stack, clinking it against the desk twice. Seems very methodical, and for a brief moment I'm reminded of Shizune, but the teacher is more unhurried and relaxed, much more routine. You have no plans? No, I consider joining a club, but I don't know what club would interest me. Go observe a meeting of someone else's club. Might pique your interest. I guess. But I don't know how to continue from there. Mutao looks at me in a way that makes me quickly want to take the words back to avoid a conversation. But I can't, so I have to forge ahead. I just don't know how to deal with people. I mean, the other students. I'm talking to people and everything, so it's not that I'd be isolated or anything. I just don't know what to think about the disabilities. It's like, it feels that I am being impolite if I pay attention to them, and it's weird to ignore them. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. The teacher scratches his cheek absent-mindedly, looking very unresponsive. These things are only an issue if you make them one. You can talk normally with everyone, even if they are blind or something. Try to look behind the superficial. There's not a single student here that isn't just a normal kid behind whatever they might seem at first glance. He says the same thing Yuko did. I know they're right, but it's hard. How can you not consider, for example, Shizune's deafness, when the only way to communicate with her is through Misha? Or Hanako. It's not like you can ignore her face. But I'm interrupted by the door of the classroom suddenly slamming open. Teacher! Misha crashes in, hands straight into the enthusiastic greeting, her voice loud, lively enough to wake the dead from their graves. She starts towards the teacher's desk with a bouncy step, hands energetically swimming with the rhythm. Mutao, visibly dismayed at the interruption, and Misha in general slumps in his chair. Mikado? Misha stops in her tracks and looks around cluelessly, as if she's sensing from his tone that something's wrong, but no idea what. Yes? We've talked about volume control before. Yes. But she doesn't lower her voice at all, and the teacher just rubs his eyes. So, what is it? We need help. We're running out of supplies for the festival stands. This is a distress. She waves a pink slip of paper she's holding around. So, get more supplies from the art room. What's the problem with that? Plywood. Plywood is always the problem. Last time we wanted more, there was only a little, but the time we just took it all and we went with that. Now there's like none left. So, do you know what there is some? I don't understand. How would I know? She-chan, I mean, the president thought that a teacher would know if there's some plywood. Was she wrong? Mutao looks like he's in great pain, frowning from the entire essence, and Misha doesn't get it at all. Looking at the two of them communicate is terrible, and looking at a man being tortured by the drilling, his skull open while blasting pop music at full volume at the same time. I'm afraid I have no idea if there's any plywood in the school, let alone where it would be if there was any. Aw, what should I do? Perhaps try to find Mr. Nomiya. Nomiya? I'm quite sure he would know where to find everything you need. You'd have to pry them from his cold, dead hands, but that's a different matter. Ah! I don't have time, we are so busy. She holds her hand out with both hands, looking as despairingly as possible for a person like her. Without even noticing, she crumples the note she's holding against her hair. I shouldn't even be fetching these things. There is so much to do and we are falling behind schedule. Mutao looks at her gravely, then suddenly smiles. Smiling doesn't fit his face. I think it's better if he didn't. I wonder if you could get some temporary help. He switches to staring at me focusedly, with a hard expression as if trying to say, go make some friends. I guess I can give you a hand. You can? Thanks, Ichan. You are really nice. She pauses and does a double take and points at me with a finger, yelping, ah! And looking very puzzled. Come to think of it, what's Ichan doing here? Class is over. You should be having fun. We just had a little chat. Oh no, it's not detention, is it? Are you in trouble, Ichan? No, I'm not. Is Ichan in trouble, teacher? No, he's not. Mutao sighs deeply, and I feel I have to help Misha to get her off the teacher's back. So, what do you need? Here's a list. I can try to find plywood somewhere if there's none in the art room. She offers me the note she's holding. I take it, hesitating a bit. I said I'd help you, but this has no implications on whether I'm joining the council or not. Aww. Still, thanks, Ichan. Try to be quick. We are in a stall building streak now. We must hurry, hurry, hurry! Hurry. She bounces out of the classroom, leaving me and the teacher looking at each other with something that feels like a silent agreement. Well, there you have it, Nakai. You have something to do now. Please, don't sound so smug. Looking at the list, the number of items ranging from paint to plywood, all written with small, neat handwriting that is undoubtedly Shizune's, I heave a sigh. I'll be going then. Waving the long list limply at the teacher, I exit to the hallway. The classroom closest to ours are designated belonging to classes 3-1 and 3-2 on the right side and 3-4 on the left side, each door looking exactly the same. Further down the corridor, still with identical doors, are rooms that I didn't even think were used for classes. I guess the art room is not a classroom as such. I carefully push to open the furthest door and peek in. I'm so curious to who's going to be in the art room. Is there going to be an artsy girl? Oh. It's a classroom, but it seems rather badly kept or not in use. Am I in the right place? Desks and chairs are all around, a thin layer of dust settled on them. There's some easels in the corner, so at least this looks like the right place. The room is flushed in sunlight from the big windows, shadows creeping all over the desks. Specks of dust are dancing in the stagnant air, making the beams of light almost visible. Jokingly, I call into the empty room. Anybody help? Something catches my eye and I stop mid-sentence. Sitting on the desk is a short-haired girl, curiously wearing a boy's uniform. With a fork between her toes, a morsel of food stuck firmly on the end. This odd way of dining seems to be caused by her apparent lack of hands. But her presence here is what makes me aback even more. How did I miss her before? She's sitting in a corner very still, but I still somehow took her as a part of the furnishing, or a statue at first glance. I'm not being too observant today as a whole. The girl seems to be frozen in place, staring at me with her huge eyes like a rabbit in headlights. She's staring at me with her mouth wide open, ready to accept the fork. I'm staring at her, my mouth wide open, suddenly remembering I didn't finish my sentence and trying to think if I should. This weird stalemate keeps us both stunned into silence, punctuated only by the wall clock ticking rhythmically. Hello? The girl stuffs a forkful in her mouth and is now staring at me expectantly while chewing. This is a bit awkward. Hello? I was told to pick up some supplies from here for some festival stalls, I think. I didn't think there would be someone here. There isn't. That's why I came here too. She picks up another forkful. Doesn't that mean you're here then? She raises her eyebrows as if she was suspecting my observation was false. You're pretty observant. I guess it does. But who are you? This girl's pretty straightforward, isn't she? I'm Nakai. Hisao Nakai. I just transferred in on Monday. I'm RIN. Tezuka. RIN Tezuka. I won't shake hands with you, but at least we know who we are now. That was very nice. Her deadpan manner of talking makes it hard to determine whether she's joking about shaking hands or not. It kind of bothers me. Joking about these matters doesn't feel appropriate at all. I mean, she's kind of got my personality. I'd be joking about mine all the time. Well, I'm trying to figure what's appropriate and whether this girl is. She seems to have lost interest in me and now gazing yearningly back at her food. Can I continue my lunch? If you don't mind, I won't mind you. If you need to get your stuff, the supplies are at the back. Go right ahead, but lunch? School's already over for the day. What word would you use then? There's no word for a meal you eat after lunch, but before dinner, right? It bothers me very much too, but I don't really know what I should say. I don't think you're supposed to eat a meal between lunch and dinner to begin with. But I'm hungry now, and my delicious box of lunch would go to waste otherwise. I have curry. It's very delicious. With much decisiveness, Rin once again picks up the fork between her toes, and with at least as much impoliteness, she points it straight back at me. So, Nakai, what brings you to this place? Like I said, I was told to look for these things. No, this school. From outside, you look fine. Is your problem inside? Oh, wow. I come to a full stop, opening my mouth, but not getting a word out. Ooh. Okay, I think we're going to end that here on that note, because, like, wow, who just says that? I like her, though. She's got the coolest personality by far so far. I totally, like... I don't know, I want to date all these girls. Can I just date them all? I don't know. I dig her, though. She's pretty cool. I like her. Rin. Yeah. Alright. Well, the next episode, we're going to continue our little intimate conversation that we're having with Rin. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll catch you guys later.